Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you doing today? Hope you're all having a great day today. So, I'm coming here to you to talk to you about a discussion, actually. So, I have a very interesting idea here with discussing Raven and Yang, and it kind of leads on to predictions of what I think might actually happen. So, sit back and get ready for this show. So, now we're on, obviously, Volume 5. Now, predictions that I have for Volume 5 here, it has to do with both Raven and Yang, and obviously as the intro sets for us, for those that have seen the intro, it shows, these two seem to be back to back to each other. Now, of course, as we know with Yang and we know with Raven, they've had, you know, I guess two encounters technically, and or actually, well, two. It wouldn't really be technically, but let's look at it like this. We remember the Yang versus Neo fight, obviously, and during that fight, Yang would have died if it had not been for Raven to step in and actually save her daughter's life. Now, obviously, the thing of it is, if you think about it, which this is actually true, um, Raven didn't have to do that. But considering, that she did, it showed some form of concern for her daughter. But it's like she stated, it was only a one-time thing. So that appearance, that one time, was a one-time appearance apparently. So from what we saw within that fight and how it ended, yeah, Raven wasn't going to do that again. From what Crow even stated after, apparently between Volume 2 and 3, that Crow had talked to Raven at some point, and that was her only one time. Of course, is that wrong? Obviously. But what this leads on for me to think is, part of the problem is this has been bad for Yang. Yang loves her mother, or well, I don't know if I'd say loves her mother, but she wants her mother in her life. Sorry. But that's the thing, and that can contribute to problems because of abandonment issues. Now, if you have ever had a parent, trouble, like where a parent's not there for you or abandoned you or just not even a part of your life in general, kind of accustomed to what this is with Yang here, that you understand the pains that this can put a kid through, whether you be a young child, a teenager, whatever. And that is definitely not the good side of a parent, which has left questions, and it leaves people with questions all the time. And Yang here, as we know, she has questions, like about her mom. Now, of course, she's in search of her mother. Now, what I think is going to happen, I do believe that this is going to lead up to obviously her finding her mother, because that's pretty much what she's been trying to do this entire time. But, we do need to see a confrontation between these two. And now it's going to be a very interesting confrontation because I wonder how both sides are going to feel about this. It'll be interesting to see because, Yang is obviously going to be, I guess, upset, but she's going to have many, many questions as to where Raven, well, maybe Raven will be surprisingly happy to see her. Maybe she'll be nonchalant about it. Maybe she won't even care at all. Maybe she'll think, oh, here's my daughter, whatever. But what I think will happen is two things that could possibly happen. I'm not saying it's happening to 100%, I don't know. But what I think could possibly happen is that these two are going to see each other, obviously, at some point. And there's going to be questions. Now, obviously, Yang has a lot of them, and I think that there will be a lot of emotional feels here between the two of them, because Yang, I think she's going to be the one who's going to have the biggest amount of, feelings towards the situation, considering that her mother has just not been there. And, obviously we've noticed this. We've seen this, watching through RWBY, and we've noticed, where's Raven, So, the thing is that looking at it now, two things I think could possibly happen here. I think one, I think that this could become a very angering point for Yang with this outcome. It could possibly become very angry for her because if we recall, one thing about Yang is she does tend to get angry, and it doesn't get very pretty when she gets angry. She brawls it out. She is someone, that kind of burst when she gets angry. It's like you store up things. That's kind of what she's like. She's kind of like storing up the emotions, and then boom, you just see this big explosion. But I will say, if they did get in a fight, I don't think it would go very well, honestly. And there could be a potential fight. This could lead to a potential fight between the two, but I don't think that would happen because, honestly, if it does, who knows how, who knows how Yang will fare up to Raven, like, because Raven's supposedly very powerful. But who knows? I mean, maybe there will be a different side to this. Maybe there will be something else that Yang can see. And with everything that happened after the whole Adam fight and her losing her arm, she's been kind of learning a bit, and maybe she'll see a perspective that she didn't see before. That anger is not the only thing that can stop this. Like maybe she can actually think this out and calmly come through with it. It's like what Tai Yang was trying to instruct her was that she, with her fighting style, for example, it was just, oh yeah, you just kind of let it loose. You don't really think it through. You just kind of go with the flow of it. And you know maybe because of this, maybe because of what Tai Yang told her, maybe this will actually allow her to see the bright side of things and an easier way to confront her mother and talk to her mother about all of this, to ask her mother these sort of things, because it seems that unlike Raven, since Raven tends to be the one that sees things from a brutal side, has to, apparently they can't get their way, kind of gets mad about it, and just can't reason with that, can't accept it. I think maybe Yang can see that. And on the other hand, Raven, well, maybe there will be something out of this that could be positive for Raven and Yang in the end, because obviously, if the confrontation actually goes well, then maybe it'll actually lead up to a good thing between these two characters. Maybe it will actually be a good thing for Raven as well. Maybe she needs someone to talk to as well. And then, I mean, that sounds weird that it'd be her daughter of all people, but sometimes that happens. Sometimes issues resolve in that kind of way that instead of fighting it out, you just talk it out. And that's something I think Yang kind of did need to learn a bit, and maybe she has. I mean, we'll see as this volume continues through, but it's kind of a speculation, kind of a thought, and I gotta say, maybe we'll see the little sun dragon over here, just bream through. I mean, she's not gonna be who she was before the incident, but hopefully she'll still have that good old personality, but as well as maturing one. Even though she has a pretty mature one beforehand, but maybe it'll help her grow up a little more than we saw before this. But hey, that's just a prediction and just a discussion with you guys, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And get ready, because we got more coming for RWBY Week this week on the channel. So stay tuned, everybody, and have yourself a good one. Take care of yourselves, and take care of everybody else around you. Have a good day.